Being able to see your whole financial life on one page that includes both business and personal can be a huge game changer. So we're going to share ours and hopefully inspire you to create your own and see what you find from ours that you want to copy, paste, steal. We're totally game for do it. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, again, some of what we've learned and what we've seen is a lot of times people think they know stuff that isn't true and say, "Oh, this isn't going to work for me because dot 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 dot." Right? And what we've learned in our past, right? And we shared this, uh, how banking yourself has worked for us in over the past 10 years. We were able to show you how it's actually worked for us and what we've been able to do because of it.